Alright, what is going on, guys? So today I wanted to make a quick little video basically just chatting about different habits or hobbies that you can pick up that are going to improve the state of your mental health. And these tips aren't going to cure any mental illnesses per se. It's not going to cure you of depression or anxiety. It's not going to cure your OCD, any PTSD, or whatever mental illness you deal with. However, these habits are going to be good for anyone struggling with anything really, whether it be mental illness or anything other than that. These are just going to be habits or hobbies that you can pick up that are going to improve the state of your mental health. Now, the first one I'm going to chat about, I've chatted about quite a few times in the past, but I want to just start off by saying journaling is probably one of the number one things you can do or habits that you can pick up that are going to help out improve the state of your mental health. Now, journaling is going to help out in a few different ways. It's going to help you out with organizing your own thoughts, giving you some sort of direction with those thoughts, and then having you be a lot more reflective. You're going to sit down and just write about whatever you're feeling, whatever you're going through, whether it be positive or negative. It's going to look like a crazy scrapbook. It's going to be all over the place, but just write down your thoughts. The more you do it, the better you'll get at it and the more organized it'll be. But in the very beginning, it's going to be super messy, and that's okay. The point is just having some sort of a relationship with your brain and your mind and your body. Just having some sort of a relationship with your mind and putting it down on paper so that you can actually read it and reflect on it. The second one is going to be exercise. Now, again, I've talked about it quite a lot in the past, and for myself, I've found that my preferred method is in a gym. I like to have the workout where I'm lifting weights. I like to have a workout where I'm maybe doing cardio in the gym. The reason I like that is because the gym is like a collective place where a lot of different people that are working on things all get together to work on them. And most of the time it's a physical thing, but you meet some interesting people in the gym. And to be honest, I've met a lot of my best friends in the gym as well. So that's something I'm passionate about, but exercise can be literally anything. It can be bike rides in the morning. It can be playing basketball with your buddies in the park. It could be throwing a frisbee around with your dog. Whatever it is, just move on a daily basis. If you move more often than you are right now, it'll probably make an improvement in your life. The third one is really just going to be something that I'm not good at all, but I try and practice it as much as I can remember to. Now, the third one is going to be meditation. That's a tough one because, to be honest, it's not an easy thing to do. Essentially, meditation, to summarize it all together, I'm not a yogi, I'm not a guru, I don't know how any of this stuff works, to be 100% honest with you. All I know is as much as I've read and as much as I've tried. Basically, the way I could summarize meditation is either sitting or laying down and focusing on nothing else other than your breath. And when you try and do this, basically, your brain's going to throw a bunch of random thoughts at you. You're going to be thinking about things that make you very emotional, but you're also going to be thinking about the most pointless things in the world. No matter what, your brain's just pretty much going to continue to throw thoughts at you left, right, and center. And the practice of meditation is really just sitting there and not trying to avoid those thoughts because it's kind of impossible, but just to let those thoughts and emotions pass. I've heard a lot of different gurus and people talk about it, basically just saying it's like if you were to sit on a beach and watch waves come towards you and then watch waves pass away. There's no way to actually stop the waves from coming. You just have to let them pass. And that's kind of how your thoughts are going to work. You can't really stop them from coming, but you're just going to let them pass. And the best way that I've found to do this is just to try and focus on your breath and then focus on all the physical aspects of your breath. So starting off by just focusing on the rhythm of it and then thinking about, okay, feeling your ribs and your lungs and your diaphragm expanding and then contracting as well. Just trying to stay focused on my breath for a few minutes. I find that this brings me a lot more mindfulness in that I realize that thoughts are just thoughts and emotions are just emotions. And we all kind of know that to be true theoretically, I suppose, but it's hard to actually literally understand that and be able to apply it in life. And so meditation has been one way that has kind of taught me a little bit more mindfulness, but as well, it's taught me a lot of discipline just because for someone like me who has been, I don't know, diagnosed with ADHD, but to be honest, I've been pretty hyperactive my entire life, so it's been really difficult for me to just actually sit still, let alone to actually meditate. So just sitting still and breathing for a little bit has been beneficial for me. The fourth thing I'd say that I would recommend in terms of like habits or hobbies to pick up would be reading. Reading has been helpful for me for the same reason meditating has been. It's been extremely difficult for me to actually just sit down and focus on one thing. That's always been something that I found a lot of difficulty in. And so reading is a good thing for me, discipline-wise, just to actually make myself sit down and read a page out of a book. Not only has it helped me out with discipline in terms of actually just sitting down, but reading's a fun way to learn. It's really difficult to find books that I'm interested in, to be honest with you. It took me years because throughout high school and elementary school, I pretty much just fake read. Anytime we'd be assigned to do any reading, I would just kind of barely skim through it and then hope that they talked enough about it in class that I would get the main ideas and concepts from the book. Now, after I finished school, I really didn't read at all ever again. I didn't really ever learn about reading for pleasure until probably last year, 2019. Since then, I found different books that I had enjoyed. Maybe I'll talk about that in a future video, I don't know, but I found a couple of different books that I enjoy. Most of it's non-fiction. A couple of them have been just stories or fiction. Once you find something that you're actually interested in and that you actually enjoy reading, then it's a lot less difficult, especially, like I said, for someone who's as hyperactive as me. So reading's going to be beneficial because, like I said, not only does it teach you discipline, but you'll learn a bunch of different things from actually doing the reading and comprehending what you're reading. The fifth one that I'm going to talk about basically is just spending time with your loved ones. That's going to be like truly spending time with them. Not sitting there on your phones while you talk or watching a movie, even though those things can be obviously fun and entertaining. But what I mean by spending time with your loved ones is actually sitting down and spending time with them. This can be having a meal together, this can be having a coffee together, but it could be also just like doing something that you guys love, a pastime, a hobby, maybe going for a run, maybe exercising, going for a walk, but spending genuine time with the people that you love. Now, if you find yourself in an extremely unfortunate circumstance and you can't hang out with anybody that you love, or maybe you don't have anyone in your life that you truly hold that valuable, I mean, hopefully you have a lot of friends or family members that you can spend time with. But even if you don't, we're talking about the worst case scenario. You have nobody in your life that really truly loves you, or you don't really love anybody around you. My best recommendation to fix that is go out and just be as social as you possibly can. And one example of that is a gentleman that comes into my work all the time. He is pretty antisocial. It doesn't seem like he has much of a social life, but he comes into the restaurant, he sits down, and he reads a book and has a couple beers and just chats with the people that work there. And for him, that's his social life. If that is the bare minimum of what you need to do, then do that, right? Just be somewhat social. I mean, I would say every day, but if you can't do it every single day, then I just recommend doing it as much as possible, as frequently as possible. Spend time being social, hopefully with people that you enjoy, hopefully with people that you love, but just spend time with other human beings. Now, the very last thing that I'm going to recommend is kind of like a bonus one. And that is, try and do at least one thing every single day that's just for somebody else. Something that doesn't benefit you directly, something that just benefits somebody else. Those can be little things like, I don't know, grabbing someone a coffee on the way to work, or giving somebody a compliment. Maybe you get them a gift. I don't know, whatever it is. Just try and do one thing every single day for somebody else. That one right there is going to give you the most instant return. It's going to give you the most instant happiness. Journaling, exercise, meditation, reading, spending time with loved ones. All of those things are going to be things that help improve the state of your mental health and make you happier. But those are things that take time to see the benefits from. If you do one thing every single day just for somebody else, it's not going to take time to make you feel good or make you feel happy or make you feel better. It's going to be something that happens instantly. When you see the smile on their face, or you see them or hear them say thank you, those types of things are going to help you out with just improving your own mental state. I hope you can at least start to do one of these things. I wouldn't say try and start doing all 5 or 6 right away. I'd say try one a day, see how many of these you can start implementing in your life. It's taken me a little bit to start to implement each one of these things. Try not to focus on so many things at once. Just focus on implementing one of these things into your life and see the benefits from it. I hope this helps you out with improving your mental state, and I hope you guys have a good week and a great day. Thank you so much for watching.